the dialogue between local authority and local young people, which kind of conditions are needed, what are the things to have in mind. Zeynep, Ricardo, Marta, Paolo was discussed in this exercise what was about how to deal with the different stakeholders.
From my personal experience from the environmental organization that I am a volunteer and a main coordinator, is that in our study visits in schools, in universities, and in general, when we implement some interactive laboratories with the participants, then the participation is much more active and much more productive.
So to start Democracy Reloading is a partnership, a strategic partnership between different national agencies through Europe, as you can say. And it's based on a framework of 24 key competence or competence element. He presents himself like that. The website of Democracy Reloading. You will have also all this presentation which will be shared with you, and try maybe to discover it. It's very easy, it's very interactive. There is also a tutorial to explain how to use it, the functionalities. Really something to discover.
Thank you so much for inviting me to talk about my job. Actually, it's what I do 100% in my municipality. It's working with participation and mainly with youth participation. So I just say I'm presenting an example, and this is not the only way or the right way to do it, but it's my way to do it, and it's my municipality's way to do it, and we are quite happy about how we have been succeeding to engage young people, and then we can always be better. But there are different ways of how young people can participate in our municipality. We have projects with more targeted participations, and we have informal participation, and then we have the more formal participation. That's the Children's Council and the Youth Council. And this is what I am going to talk about, how we work with them and how we make their effort worth something in our municipality. So just give you my context. We have a Children's Council. It's from 10 to 13 years old, and there are 23 members. And then we have the Youth Council, who's about, this year there are 15 members. And they meet once a month, and they have regular meetings with the mayor. So we will say that they have a central place in our political organization. But then I have to say that in Norway, we have a really short distance between citizens and politicians. So to tell you a bit about how we finance this, it's required by law to have a youth council in Norway, and therefore the municipality is also responsible for funding it. But it varies greatly from municipality to municipality how much funding we get. And I have to say that my municipality have good fundings, and not all municipalities are so well off that we are. We have approximately 23,000 inhabitants, and we have 100% position to follow up on this responsibility. Okay, so for me, it is important when I meet young people to be curious. So I want to know when I meet the young people for the first time, who are you? Why do you want to join a youth council? I need to find their motivations. I also think that the youth council, they have a leadership role in our community. So I have to promote the leadership skills and give them challenge that promotes these skills. So in order to do that, we have a startup meeting every year. We have 2 days together actually, and in the picture here you can see some of the things we do, and it's important for me to join in the different games we have to promote this, to get to know each other better and to create this safe space. Some people are afraid that I have too high expectations for young people, for what they can achieve. But my experience is that young people withstand high expectations if they know in their heart that they will get the support. Then they lean on me and they ask me for help, and they know that they will get the help. So the clue here is to get to that point where they really trust you. I asked young people, how would you describe me? And I loved that they told me that, oh, Anne, you are youthful. And I think I'm going to hold on for this for a long time. But they also described me as a bit crazy, that nothing was too small or too big. You can always ask me about the small things, and you can also ask me about the big things. And most of all, they all was agreeing about that. They thought that I was someone who really cared about them. And I think that is the key. I really do think that young people who are going to participate, who is going to tell what they think about really big issues and how they would change the municipality and their local community, they need to have people around them that they trust and they know really cares for them. So every time you show up and every time that you are available to them and you show that you tolerate their way of expressing themselves, then you build relationship. So one of the other things is very important in my role as a facilitator. It is to be a door opener. It's to open doors and give them arenas to express themselves. So in this particular picture that I've shown you here is the leader of our youth council, and he was invited to the Minister of Child and Family Affairs to tell about how he thought that the government could be better to listen to young people. Then we tried to show the work that the young people do. I think you can have this group of young people and they can sit in the room and you can close all the windows and doors and then they can have all these brilliant thoughts. But you have to let the rest of the world know how brilliant they are. So we try to always avoid adults telling what the young people have said, but let them be present themselves to communicate directly with the decision-making people. They don't use social media as much as I would have expected. They certainly don't use Facebook, but we use Facebook to inform the grown-ups. And they have some activities on Instagram, but they have found it really hard to engage people through Instagram. So they really like to be more like face-to-face meeting more than Instagram and these different social media. In an organization, you need to have a good structure that provides the predictability and the clarification of expectations. So in our organization, we have made this rule for who do we want to involve, when do we want to involve them, who is responsible for involving them, and how are we going to show this in the different politician process. And then I have also seen that grown-ups don't really like when young people go in the municipality council and say, hey, we haven't been heard. That is a kind of criticism that the municipality staff tends to avoid. So that's a good thing, because if they want to avoid them, they have to ask them before they get the criticism. So that's kind of self-discipline, I think. Having good ambassadors in the organization is really important. And I do that by letting people who have had good experience with youth participation, who have experienced that this works, this was fun, this was something that I want to do again, I learned something, it changed the course of the case that I was working on, for example, then you use them to tell others about it, because you can't be in every room in a big organization. So you have to build up ambassadors who find this interesting work and find that it's good for me to do this. This is a picture of two of my representatives from the Children's Council, the mayor and the deputy mayor. This is how we interact in our municipality. It should be fun to have participation, and it should be a safe space. A lot of just being present from the young people themselves is motivating for all of us that works with this. Seeing that they are present, seeing that they are showing up, and seeing how they develop the services in our municipality. They find that the young people are solution-oriented and they are reflective, and they are a very important ambassador for our municipality. This motivates a lot of people. So to conclude, I think I have the best job in the world. I think it's the most important job, but mostly because I want to see my job and youth participation in kind of bigger picture, because I think democracy as a way of organizing society is not one once and for all. It has to be one every single day in the interaction between every single young person that you meet. They have to believe that democracy works, and they have to experience it as early as possible in life, I think. Then, and only then, I think democracy will survive. And that's why this work is so important for me, and that's also why I think, and I can say that really honestly, I think that my municipality thinks this work is really important. So with that, I say thank you so much for listening. I hope it was inspiring. And if you have any questions, I will take this now.